single day I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day I'm gonna make.
Hi everyone, Dr. Auda here with another live speaking TIC with a superwoman that I can call my friend, and we have to see if she gets on so we can add her. But in the meantime, just so we don't cause any more bloopers as we have had in the past, again, my name is Dr. Auda with Cara Mission. I'm the VP of Cara Mission, and I have the pleasure of bringing on past Cara missionaries to share the message. Oh, there she is. Okay, now I bring them on camera. Ooh, this is so cool. So we're gonna be sharing with Dr. Kalie. She's been. This happened so quick. You have been my quickest girl. I am so happy. Hello.
Hi, Mama.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Look, and you're on Wi-Fi. This is going to be awesome. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. This is great. Okay, so guys, I have the awesome Dr. Kalie Judge here, and I know her and love her, and probably you know her and love her too. But I'm going to let her introduce herself. I just want our audience here to know about you a little bit, where you practice, how long you've been in practice, how many mission trips you've been, anything you want to say. This is unscripted, just real TikTok. Go ahead.
Awesome. So, hey, everybody. I have been in practice. I graduated in October 2010, and I've been practicing ever since then. I'm in St. Charles, Illinois, and I practice with my amazing brother, and he's going to come on here one of these days pretty soon.
Yes.
And today's my mom's birthday, and I tried to get her on here, but she left and doesn't want to be on. So she's nervous about it. So we'll try to get her on another time. What else? I have been on, I think, 3 different Cairo mission trips. One of them we went to Haiti for a few days, which was like amazing. Yeah, that's my story.
Yes, so the first time I met this beautiful family, I did the very inappropriate thing of going to touch their bodies, because they are just, they should be modeling for chiropractic. So if we should have banners, it should be the Judge family. All they should be. I think that she doesn't remember. Maybe she blacked it out of her mind. But I think I went directly to both of them and I said, "Can I touch, please?" And they.
Oh no, I remember. We were at the beach.
They were like, "Weird."
And I was like, "Who is this lady? Who is this crazy woman that now we love so much?"
Yeah, no, and I haven't changed. So I just think you guys are all terrific. And yes, I wanted to have your mom because I know it's her birthday, and I have a kind of crush on your mom because she's just so real, and she has raised. I have such respect for your mother because she has raised amazing humans, and to me, that is just the biggest accomplishment you could ever have in this life. But again, I'm a
Amen.
mom. That's how I see it, that we should be better parents. And when I see the fruits of her labor, I'm like, please. That's how I feel towards her. And so I say happy birthday, and I understand, and no big deal. We'll have her next time. So let's talk a little bit about TIC. I've been having the pleasure of having guests. Probably you have known some of them, and just talking chiropractic. So we're just gonna touch a few topics, and you let me know if it's off base or not. It doesn't matter, and we'll just stand and go from there. But what do you think? I know you're pretty big with Maximized Living, and you have spoken at their stage, and you're a powerhouse no matter what you do. Same for your brother and your mother, yeah. And what do you think is missing in chiropractic? What do you think is missing in our profession to get our certainty levels up to be able to reach more people? What do you think is missing?
I don't know if it's missing. I think people are oftentimes way too worried about making a name for themselves and not making a name for chiropractic. And I think that's where things start to get watered down, because we get so bogged down in our own agendas, and we forget that the body heals. And what we do as chiropractors is we search for subluxation. And if there's pressure on the brainstem and the spinal cord and the nerve roots, then their body's not healing and functioning the way that it's designed to. And I think that we try to fluff that up more than it needs to be, because that's pretty fluffy already for me. And I think that, even BJ Palmer used to say it's as simple as that. And it really is just as simple as that. And we try to make it, what machine can you have to make your practice bigger and larger and better, and not focusing on what can we do to make sure that we're serving our patients the best that we can. And then we also forget about serving ourselves. And I just did a call on this on yesterday, just about having a servant mindset and a servant heart. And yes, we need to have a business because it is a business, and I get that whole thing, and we can have that conversation later. However, I think that we forget about having a servant mindset, and that these are human beings that just need our help, and they have this massive system that's attacking them in their minds and in their hearts and in their souls, and making them feel that they're the victim and they're never going to win, and they're broken bodies, and they can't heal, and they're weak, and all these things. And so what our job is to not just find the subluxation in the spine, but let's find out what's going on in their mind and in their hearts, and figure out how can we make them empowered to take back the control of their health and their healing. Because I think too often that people just walk around and they think that they're weak and they're broken, and that's just not fair.
Yeah, I feel that it is our job is to provide them with hope and a new reality, because we've been lied to for so long that it's hard to break those patterns and those beliefs that we think that this is what's going to happen, or it's going to happen because it happened to our parents and our family, and we want the quick fix. And by giving them the hope and the tools that they can change it, that it is not written in stone, that there is another way, which will take obviously constant communication and constant education and persistency, then we can create changes for not only them, but their whole family and everybody they impact. And that is indeed a bigger gift that we can give them. Sometimes I feel it's not even the adjustment. It can be the inspiration for them to just click and remove that lie and put it with a God-given truth that this body indeed heals itself, and it was made to help us and serve us. And if we can serve it and listen to it, then it will give us amazing things in return. You were saying that, and one of the things that I feel that we do when we go on mission trips is that we simplify chiropractic, right? We get out of the way, and there's no tools, there's nothing, there's no advertising, there's no staff, there's just no language for that matter for most people, and we just keep it so simple. And it's a new perspective and a new reality that sad that we need to go on a mission trip to be reminded of. Hi Sue, happy birthday. Oh, she's funny. But we do, and that's one of I feel one of the gifts, at least I've gotten with so many mission trips, that I am constantly reminded how perfect it can be, and how simple, just like you said it, Kalie. So give me what were your aha moments when you went on your first mission trip? Probably you already knew it by then, because you guys are at different levels than most chiropractors I know. But yes, tell me, what was your aha moment, or any stories, anything that can enlighten people that have never been, or that can remind us how simple and beautiful it is.
Yeah, I will never forget my very first mission trip. I got the pleasure of being partnered with Dan Neiman 2 times going out in that same trip, and it was like my first time out, and he's an amazing veteran, and he's not even a chiropractor, but I think he should be a chiropractor, because him and his wife are way more passionate about chiropractic than most chiropractors that walk this planet. And so I got the pleasure of going out to a church, and just to see his tenacity of wanting to get people checked and wanting to get people adjusted. It was just like, whoa, like we get to just go out and like pull these people off the street and just adjust them, and then we get to walk through this town and like walk into their houses, and they're gonna just let us in and adjust them. And so that was a really cool thing for me to be a part of, especially with who I was with. It was just, there's always a connection with the people that you get to go out on the day trips with. But then the 2 years after that, I think 2 years, we went to Haiti, and that trip like pierced my soul. I think everybody that was there kind of like it's one of those things that's never going to leave our minds. And yeah, the one story that I still, and you can ask Tiffany and James, my mom, and Deb that were there, but we always just talk about the little baby that got brought in, and she was 4 days old, and her mom didn't know how to breastfeed, and so she hadn't eaten a meal yet, and they had the baby in Haiti, and I mean, it's like up in the mountains in the sticks, and there's no resources. And somehow this baby got brought to us, and we found out that she was born at home, and they used a machete to like cut the umbilical cord, and it's all these like things that you just don't think about having to deal with. And there was a pool of blood like where her belly button is, hadn't eaten yet. And so we had the pleasure of not only checking her spine, but you know, we had Dr. James had brought coconut milk, so we used that as her first meal. Made her a bottle, got her fed, and then we used our resources. Tiffany and Deb and I, you know, adjusted her with 3 different techniques, and had this baby going and eating by the time we left. And then my mom's over in the corner, and she's like, somebody needs to teach her how to breastfeed. And we're like, out of all of us in here, you are the only one with that experience, so that's on you. Like, so then you look over in the corner, and here's my mom like massaging this woman's breast with a hot towel, and teaching her how to get the milk flowing. And all of a sudden, before they leave there, guess what? She's breastfeeding her baby for the first time. And then 2 years later, Tiffany goes back to Haiti, and guess what? This little baby comes walking into the clinic and wants to say, hey, you know, and that's something that you think you don't make an impact, or you're only going there for a few days, so what difference is it going to make? But we saved somebody's life that day, and I get goosebumps even just thinking about it right now. But that's something that we get the follow-up story on, and how many of those people that we touch in the Dominican and in Haiti and in the other places that Cairo Mission goes to, how many people do you touch that you get to adjust them, turn their power back on, reconnect their brain to their body, that we don't get to hear the amazing stories that happen after that. You know, a country is completely getting shifted because a group of individuals are deciding to take time off of their days and go out there and serve. And I just think that that's one of the most incredible gifts that we can give to somebody, is to serve them with our skills and our talents.
That is so true, especially in Haiti. When I just finished a podcast, Dr. Melissa Longo, and she was asking me, and I told her, listen, Haiti is just a different place. It's just like a different, like it's not even a third. I mean, world.
You like literally you cross the border from Dominican, you think you're in a third world country, and then you cross the border, and it's like, what just happened?
I know.
Where's this bus taking us? And you know, and then we don't have any communication, so we're like, who's picking us up, and are we gonna sleep at the bus stop tonight, or what's happening right now?
Yeah. And we were just talking about how sometimes what the biggest gift we do in Haiti, obviously with one adjustment, you give back some of that hope, right? Because one thing I noticed is 2 times I've been in Haiti that you see like their eyes, and it looks like they have lost hope, right? Like it's so hard to even connect when you're adjusting them. You just look in their eyes, because that level of suffering, a level of neglect, the level of what they go through that we cannot even comprehend here in the USA, right? It's just so real to them that when you adjust them, it's almost like that spark. You see it, and you see it so much more even in Haiti. It's like, whoa, you're like, boom, and they like connect with you. You're seeing it right there. But just like what you were telling me, that you don't get to see the effects. Well, I go back every 6 months or every year. I've been doing this for 10 years. And I hear it because I understand the language, at least in the DR, and the miracles are endless. Oh my God, you guys passed by and you gave us an adjustment, and look at this kid now, and this is what we were suffering. We were never able to tell, and look how they are doing. So I hear it over and over again. Probably the reason I keep doing this nonprofit work, right? Because, it could be hectic and it's hard to plan these trips, and it's a lot of work that we do. We don't get paid for it, but it's heart money that I call it, because just by just facilitating this experience for you guys, not only your servant hearts are expanded, we are definitely giving gifts and changing that country for the better. And then you come back and keep changing lives when you come back here to your homes, to your practices, to your kids, to everything else. And you will never get the perspective that you get on a mission trip, right? Ever again. It's like our worst day here that our staff quit, there's no air conditioning, patients miss, whatever it is that you can imagine as your worst day in practice, it's not their best day there. So
I mean, I remember my first trip coming back from it, and it was like my world got rocked. And I came back, and it was like a Wednesday afterwards, and this lady comes in, and like the worst question that you can ask somebody in your office is, "How are you doing?" Because then it turns into this whole like thing. And I did, and I'm like, "Hey, how are you?" And she's like, I'm awful." I'm like, "What's going on?" She's like, "Well, I had to cut my grass today, and my lawnmower broke down, and this happened." And I'm like, "Do you have any idea where I just came from and the things that I just saw? And you're complaining that you had to go cut your grass, and you had to go fix your lawnmower and all this stuff." And it's like, man, like I had a patient yesterday. She's getting ready to go to South Africa on a church mission trip. And she's like, they're hungry for God. They're hungry for Jesus. And she's like, us in America, she's like, we're not hungry anymore because we have it way too good. But they don't have it good, and they're missing out on so much that they just want to connect to God and be brought closer to Him. And it's as simple as that again. And I just think it's so important to remember that. And then even going back to what you had said earlier about being on missions trips and like making it more simple and breaking it down, 90% of the time I can't communicate with them. We walk in and we're like, we're gonna do this onto there, and just see at the day, right? And so people just sit down and they let you adjust them, and like there's a heightened level of trust because we're white people walking in, and we're gonna come and save the planet. But at the same time, it's like, if we could just have a little tiny bit of that brought back to here, and let people experience what it takes to trust somebody and feel that hope. And one of the things that we say in our office is that our office is a place of healing, of hope, and of refuge, because there's so many people that are being lied to, and they have lost their hope, and they're not healing, and they need a place for refuge. I have a patient who, when I first met her 5 years ago, she was addicted to drugs, and all kinds of stuff was going on. She got off of all that stuff, but she even, like, our office is the place where she'll come to when things go haywire in her life. And sometimes she's there every single shift of the week just so she doesn't screw up in her life. And it's because she knows, and we've been telling her this is the place of healing, this is a place of hope, and this is a place of refuge. If you need anything,
hello, 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 hello. I think we can never have one of these calls without some kind of technical difficulties. It's almost like a mission trip, because when we plan those mission trips, not everything goes as planned, and we just go with the flow. And we know that exactly what happens is what needed to happen, and the experience you're having is what needed to happen for your heart to open, for your heart to give and receive what it needs to receive. So yes, it's just this kind of calls, this mission trip, mission mode calls with all my past superstars, Cara missionaries, veterans, always get interrupted by something, and I always tend to feel like, okay, what's going on? What is the world trying to teach me here? But just like she was saying, I love what she was saying. You're back. Yay, yes. Let me add you in. Okay, approve. Okay, you're back. I love the my little silence here.
Hi.
Hi, welcome back. I
Somebody called my phone, so
yeah, I love
that's
what
a
you were
whole new level.
about your practice. Anything that I love that. I almost want to write in the comments right below. So whomever heard it, please write it. A place of refuge, a place of hope, and what is the other one?
Healing, hope, and refuge.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it. We should all have some kind of a motto that we use in our practice and make it your own. But people need our hope and they need that new reality that we offer and they need that foundation, right? So they can come back home. They can come back home because I feel that's what we do with an adjustment. We bring them back home, which is that connection to God, that connection to our self-healing body that when it's turned on, it has it. So now going on to a new question, what would you say to people that have never been on a mission trip? What would you say? Because there's so many misconceptions, so many people think, and people end up going for all kinds of reasons, and they end up getting all kinds of different things. But what would you say to somebody that is on the edge, that has never taken the plunge, that has never been on a mission trip, and that is thinking maybe of going? What would you say that is real? What would you say that is not?
I think that remove your expectations for what it's gonna be. Because I think sometimes like people walk there and like, oh, we're gonna stay at a 5-star luxury place and then we're gonna go out for like a couple hours and maybe adjust a few people. Make sure your heart's in the right position in order to go out and serve people, because you walk in there and it's from the moment that you arrive at the airport. And I know you guys put a lot of heart and direction into this, getting people to where they need to be and getting volunteers to take us to where they need to go, and just trust the process. And even when like you get thrown onto the back of a motor car deal and you're like, where the heck is this place taking me? Am I going to get abducted or what's happening? Like that's never happens. So it's going to be okay. Like just trust the process, and be okay with being separated from whoever it is that you went with. And because you're going to build lasting relationships and bonds with these people that you do these mission trips on. And then also too, like don't think that you're going on a vacation, because like go there ready to serve and ready to work, and it's going to be the hardest 4 days of your life, harder than any week in practice, harder than anything that you get to experience here on this side of our serving. But then you get a day or day and a half, 2 days of being able to bring back and come back with the stories and go and don't go there to get wasted and do that whole thing, because then it just it ruins the next day. And you're taking something away from the person that's going to receive that adjustment from you. So really just check your heart, and if you're on the fence, that's telling you that you need to go. Like there's no fence about it. Like if you even have an inkling that you need to go on a mission trip, like just book the ticket and go and get there. And if you hate it, like there might be a heart issue that you need to check out, because there's like literally absolutely nothing to hate about it, besides maybe your air conditioner doesn't work well enough at your hotel, and that's like the biggest problem that you're gonna have, right? And the food, like the other thing is like the food, like people have an issue with the food. It's like, well, what do you expect? Like I ate rice and beans for 6 days, and it is what it is. And those plantain like potatoes that aren't actually potatoes. Right?
But you know what? Your body somehow made the best out of that meal, gave you the energy to go out into the heat and serve like nobody's business. And I love what you said, because some people think it's a party and you can make it whatever you want, but you're just stealing out of yourself and those and others. And that is a personal choice. You know, obviously we prefer you to be all in and be present, because that's how you can give the most and receive the most as well, so you can come back change a different person, like you and your whole family have been, and you guys have been so amazing in you know, raising money for the kids in Haiti, on doing life changing things for Cara Mission and for your own community. So we applaud you, and we wish everybody was as on chiropractic as you guys are. You are a very dear family to me and to everybody in our Cara Mission board. That I know for a fact.
Yeah.
So we truly love you, and we bless your way and your motto and your practice, so you may keep blessing others in the city, in the Illinois, in the whole state, and so on. Because this, just doing this kind of interviews and opening yourself up to sharing your stories, you're blessing others. So thank you so much, Dr.
You're
Kalie,
welcome.
for here. Anything else you would like to say regarding, it could be anything, it could be regarding chiropractic, regarding certainty, regarding blessing others, anything you want to say, go ahead.
Yeah, I just have a quick story that happened last week on Tuesday. I got the chance to go out and speak to this Christian camp, like summer camp for kids. And it's one of those things where, you know, we think that we need to get on the plane and go to Haiti or the Dominican to go make a difference in these lives. But I had like my whole world shattered on Tuesday. I've been there before and I've spoke there before on chiropractic, and we went into the main building, and then Roger took us into the back and like showed us like the camp and like what they actually do like during the camping. And then we walked over and there was this shelter, and it was full of young like school age kids, and I was like, where are we right now? And I mean, I'm 2-3 miles away from my house, like where I'm sitting right now, and I was getting flashbacks from going into the schools in Dominican and in Haiti, and I'm like, these kids live in my backyard, and where is everybody at, and what are we doing for them, and what more can we do? And so maybe you are on the fence of should you go on a mission trip or not, but if you are, I promise you that there's even mission trips that you need to go on in your own town, and there's people that you need to serve in your own town. And then God's so funny, like I've been asking for like opportunities to serve and just praying about that. And so that happened. And then I ran into an old patient, and she's like, hey, we've been looking for a chiropractor to come serve at this free clinic that we do for women and children, and that we give free healthcare to. And it's like, awesome, let me go. I'll come. How often do you need me to come there? And so you don't have to go on a mission trip to find people to serve. You can do that in your own town. But I think that when you're ready for that, that's when those opportunities start to pop up. And then as far as certainty goes with chiropractic, just to never forget where chiropractic came from and why you started in the first place. And in those moments where your financials or your relationships or the things in your life start going haywire, to anchor on to what you know is truth, and to not try to rewrite the truth. I think a lot of times when something starts to crumble, that we try to rewrite what truth is. And if we can just anchor into the truth that the body was designed to heal, God gave us an amazing healing power that's in our brain, comes from above down, inside out, and allows our bodies to function at 100%. And as long as there's no interference between your brain, your spinal cord, and your nerve roots into the organ cells and tissues, and your body's healing. And who deserves to hear that? Every single person on this planet deserves to at least hear that. So go set up talks, go get in front of people, have more people come into your office, stop being selfish and start serving chiropractic.
Yep. I love that. And somebody wrote here, healing, hope, and refuge. I just, I love it. I'm going to use it. I'm going to tweak it to the Latin sound, and I'm going to use it. But yeah, to not care what other people are going to think, and just get out there and tell the truth. And some people will get it, some people know. But that one person that might have heard what you just said, it might have clicked there, and they go home and change the way they parent their baby. They change all the medications they're giving them just for a fever. I mean, and it will change that child's life and the children of that child. I mean, the impact is so immense, and we sometimes forget. And then we're like, oh, we're not going to tell them. We're just going to give them the drugs anyways, or whatever it is that we put preconceptions onto others without giving people the opportunity to choose to react to the truth that you can tell them. So just bless others with your truth, and don't be afraid, because indeed the mission is right here. And I saw those pictures of what you did, and then I think it's just so amazing. And when you're ready, the opportunities do show up, and then it's up to you, just walk through it and let the fear take care of itself, because the purpose and the mission is bigger than the fear, and the truth, just like you mentioned, it is bigger than it all. So indeed, join us in September, definitely. It's on caramission.com. I will post the links. We love to have you, Kalie. Thank you so much. I'm going to have your brother, Dr. James, and send a love to your mother. Keep doing
I'll give her a big hug.
Keep blessing everybody with everything you got. I mean, I love seeing you, and I seen everything, how you have kept evolving into more amazing, if that's even possible. And I still want your apps, and I know I have to do so send me the recipe down to Miami. Come visit me. I love to connect with you. And thank you, guys. Thank you. So many people put so many comments. I will get to them. You can also get to them. You can reach her at any website. If they want to ask you questions or reach you, you can mention it here or put it in the comments, Dr. Kalie.
Awesome. Perfect.
Okay, so put it out there.
Yeah, just look me up on Facebook and message me.
Here. Awesome.
Yeah.
Love, appreciate you. Have a blessed afternoon.
Love you.
Ciao.